So see, before going to the definition and all, abstract is a keyword. Simply, first we learn about abstract. Abstract is a keyword in Java. Like initial class, we have already learned. So abstract is a keyword which we can use before class and before method, right? So let assume if I use, yeah, let me define a class first. Okay, so I have a class called student. Okay, so in this class, I can create a two type of method. The one is abstract method, another one is non-abstract method. So basic definition is if you are defining any method with abstract keyword, okay, so that called as abstract method. If you are defining a method without abstract keyword, is called a non-abstract method. Okay, so what happened? What happened if I use abstract? So let me define. I have a class called student. No, don't not to take. Okay, let me take a student only. Later on, we'll. Yes, okay. So I have defined here abstract. This is a keyword. Okay, this is a keyword. So if you use abstract void teach or read anything, any method like that. So what happen when you use abstract keyword before any method, like how you like that you will define a method. Okay. So what happen? Let assume if any further classes, right? I have a class called let assume MCA student, which extend whom a student class. Okay. So now MCA class, MCA student, there is no space. MCA student extended a student class. Okay. So we see here, it's having a method called teach, right? Which we mark as abstract. It means when you extend this class, it will force you to implement that method. Okay, so here you must define that method, otherwise you will get an error. Okay, that is the first thing. So here I have method called teach. So here you have to write like this. TEACH teach, like that you have to define. Otherwise you will get an error. Okay, so basically what happen like when we use abstract keyword, so basically when let us in super class, if you want a method, okay, which you want to force, right, to your all the subclasses, let assume now MCA student, BCA student, XYZ, multiple classes you have created, right? So all the classes have to implement that method. Okay, we'll take example. Let assume there's a class called parent. Okay, it's have three child C1, C2, C3. So in parent, if you have a method, abstract method M1, okay, like that, if you define abstract void void M1. So all this C1 have to implement a, if C1 extend P, it's have to implement. If it's not implement, you will get error. This also have to implement this. This also have to implement. Basically what I'm doing, I'm forcing a implementation, right, to all my child classes. Okay. So this is called, this is the use of abstract method. Okay. So now we'll come to the node point. So where we can use abstract keyword? It can be used when you want to define a default behavior for subclasses. Let us, like I said here, right? P is a parent class which want to implement a certain behavior to all their children. So he will make that method mandatory. How he will make that method mandatory? By making it abstract. Okay. 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 So which class we can call a abstract class? I have told about method. Which class we can call a abstract class? So a class which have one or more than one abstract method, a class which have one or more than one abstract method are known as abstract class. Okay. Okay, let me define here. Let assume I am going to define an abstract class. Sorry. Okay. So here abstract. So this is the keyword. First you have to use the keyword, then you have to use class keyword, and then you will define a class called save. Okay. So what happened? Okay. So when you use abstract keyword before a method, what happened? That method will be forced to the child classes, right? But what happened if I use abstract keyword before class? So if you use abstract keyword before class, you cannot, in that scenario, you cannot create an object of that class. Means abstract class cannot be instantiated but can be subclass. Means let assume any abstract class, you can create a child class but you cannot create an object of abstract class. Okay, let's take a scenario. If I am having a normal class A and B, right? So in that case, what happen? I can create object of A also, I can create object of B also, right? But if A is an abstract class, you cannot create an object of A. Okay, you can only create a subclass of A. Okay, you can create a reference of A, but you cannot create object of A. What does means create reference? You cannot create object means? I will tell you. Okay, let assume here is A is a abstract class, abstract, and B is a child class. So you can create A obj equal to new B. You can have B obj B equal to new B. This thing fine, but you cannot have A obj equal to new A. Understand? So you all are understanding what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically when you use abstract keyword, okay. So in method, if you use method will get forced to the child class. If you use before the class, class can be subclassed. Means you can create a child class from that class, but you cannot create an object of that class. Clear? Okay. So usually people used to ask, okay, let's assume if I have a class A, okay, and B. If I use here abstract keyword, I call A as what we call it? Abstract class, right? Clear? Okay. So what about B? We are not using abstract keyword before B. So what we call it? So in real term, like in if you go and participate in any of, let us say if you join a software company and they will discuss about concrete class, abstract class. So basically abstract class means a class which have abstract keyword, right? And concrete class means a class which doesn't use abstract keyword and we can create an object of that class. So B is a concrete class. So right now, whatever classes we have learned before abstract class, all are concrete class. Okay. So how many classes we have? A concrete class and abstract class. Okay. Second thing. Similar in method, a method which defined with the abstract keyword are called as abstract method. A method defined without abstract keyword is called as concrete method. Correct? Concrete method or concrete class means a class or method which have implementation, which we can create object of that, right? A method in the case of method, which the method which have implementation. Because if you see, like I will give examples and all. So whenever I define, right? Whenever I define abstract method, I will not give definition of that. Let assume this A is a class. Okay. So here if I create M1 as an abstract, I will write like this. Abstract void M1. Let me write it clearly. Abstract void M1. So like that we'll write abstract method in abstract class. Clear? Okay. So now the first thing we have learned, like abstract class, we cannot create an object of abstract class. But if you go to interview, right, they will ask how can you create a is there any possibility we can create an object of abstract class? So that and all those things, hooks and all, we'll learn later once we understand. Okay. Okay. So if someone asks what is concrete class, you can answer, and what is abstract class till now, you can answer, right?
Yes.
Uh, if someone want, okay,
Abhinav,
yeah,
sorry for the interruption. I have a doubt. Like, can we have variables in abstract class, like
yeah,
any
yeah,
instance
yes,
variables?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We'll discuss those things. Okay. So we can have
Okay. Okay.
abstract method, non-abstract method. What happen if you have all the method are abstract? So those things, everything we'll discuss. Okay. Clear? Okay. Other than that, you guys
Yes.
are able to understand, right? It's not something which difficult. It's very straightforward. Only thing we are just using abstract keyword. And if you use abstract keyword, you cannot create object of that class. Okay. Okay. Now, if they will ask you, okay, in one liner you define what is abstract class in one liner, a best what we call a very concise definition of that. So you say abstract class can be used when you want to define a default behavior for subclasses, right? So when you want to define a default behavior for subclasses, you can use abstract class. Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what it is, what is the exact use of that? Like you cannot create user object, we can have abstract. What it, how its benefit, right? Clear?
Yes.
So our what we call our main idea is to know what is the exact use of abstract class. Okay. So let's assume abstract class contain the common behavior for all the subclasses. So let assume is if any scenario, right? If any scenario, if I want to force a common behavior throughout the objects or throughout uh, our, let us assume we are developing a software, we want to put certain common behavior to all of our classes, all of our objects. In that case, we'll create a abstract class and all the classes will extend that abstract class. Like in that fashion, right, we can implement a common behavior to every. Okay, so we'll see some example as well. Okay. Okay. Let's abstract. Let me go with the examples and then we'll see. My screen is visual to you all, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bhai.
Keep my notepad aside. Okay. This is like from different batch. So okay. Let me close this. Where is my mouse? Okay. Okay. So I have here a one second. I have here a public class. Okay. Let me use some different shape example. Okay. I name it and the file. And here we'll have our main method. Okay. In this one, we are not, so in the down, we'll learn about this. Okay. So let me have a abstract class first. So this is the abstract keyword. I can have a class, okay, class called save. Okay, so most popular example like people usually have to uh, uh, give whenever they go with the abstract example, they used to take a shape only. Why? I will tell you. So first I will take abstract method called double, okay, and then I have area. Okay, so now we have area, and then again we have abstract, and let me have open parameter. Okay, so now in this abstract class I have two abstract method. Okay, this is the first thing. Now you have asked me one question, right? Can an abstract class have a non-abstract method, right? So let me add one non-abstract method. So void intro, I have just given an intro. Okay, I just must enter this one. So I have, it's a shape class. Clear? So now in this class, we are having area and perimeter and intro, three methods, right? In which two method are abstract method and one is intro, which is non-abstract method. So now we'll create a class called rectangle. Okay, so let us assume I am going to create a class called a rectangle. Okay, so okay, let me create this. Okay, and I want to have, must have this two method implementation, area and perimeter, right? Because if you you know rectangle, right, where you have to calculate uh, area and you have to calculate perimeter kind of thing, right? So rectangle and other squares and all circles, right? So I'm just that is the reason I've created shape, and I have added two method called area and perimeter, and whatever classes that I'm going to have in future, I will extend that shape class. Okay, so let me extend the shape class. So when I extend save class, you see I'm start getting this one. So it's like, it's what it's saying, implement the method. What is saying? Class rectangle must be declared abstract or implement abstract method area in shape. So it's saying that you must implement this two method. Otherwise, you will get a compile time error. So let me implement it. I implemented, I did a basic implementation, and I'm right now I'm not getting any error. Is that I'm getting any error? No, right? Okay, so I just implemented, overrided this two. What about this void intro? It's forcing, it's not forcing non-abstract method. So abstract class can only force abstract method. If you have any non-abstract method in abstract class, there is no issue. Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So we'll implement that. Okay. So let me implement this. Okay. In rectangle, let me have a property called, a private property called width. Okay. Now inside the area, okay. Let me first override this. Okay. So I added two properties and I have constructor to initialize those. And then what I'm doing, when, what is the area of rectangle? What is the formula? Like anyone, any one of you?
Length into breadth.
2 into L.
Tell me. So,
2 into L plus 5.
Length into breadth.
yes. So width into height I am doing. Okay. Okay, why I'm getting error? Any guess? When you multiply double, what is the result? It will always result in double, right? So that is the reason I was getting. Okay. Anyone from you like answer this perimeter?
A cube. Sorry,
Mhm.
2 into 2
2 into L plus 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So you understand the use of abstract class, right? An abstract method. Okay. So abstract class can have, we cannot create an object abstract class and all, blah, blah, and all. That is different things. Let me do one thing. Let me create this rectangle object. Okay. So abstract class will behave as it is. How normal class behave. Okay. It just have additional properties. Okay. The additional properties, and one disadvantage, we cannot create object. Additional properties, if you want to force something. Okay. See, we are having method overriding, but that is not, in that case, we are not forcing it, right? To all our class. If someone want to override, they can override, right? But in abstract class, when you define an abstract keyword before a method, we are forcing a subclasses to implement that method, right? Okay, let me create the object and let me call it. It will behave like this: obj equal to new rectangle. So I have 4 and 5, right? Okay. Okay. Now I have obj. So if I call area, right? Okay. Let me use system.out.println obj dot area. Okay. System.out obj dot perimeter. Okay. So when you are calling, okay, one more method we have. So okay. So obj. So obj rectangle is a subclass of which shape. So shape is having a method called intro. You remember? And this area and parameter anyhow we have implemented. Okay, 1 second. Let me see what we are getting. Intro return boolean. 1 second. Intro. I think I am having a void return type. That is the reason. So let me make it a string. Okay. I can go with void as well, but return. Hello, I am intro from shape class. Okay, let me run this. What is happening? Okay, so first what we'll get? We get 20, which is correct. We get 40. Okay, we have, okay, correct. With 20, 40, it is a shape. Hello, I am intro class, which is, this is correct. You guys able to understand what is happening here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now basic idea you all got, right? Okay, so what and all modifiers we can use, right? Okay, so let take example in this one, right? In shape class, I am first defining a normal variable string. Let us assume pi. Okay, okay, not pi. I will take another. So let me string. Okay, result something. Okay, I will temp some variable. Okay, now I will have static. I'm just demonstrating what and all you can write in abstract class. Okay, string pi equal to, sorry, 3.14. Okay, okay, 1 second. Provided double. Okay, clear. So I have here static. I can keep a static as well. I can keep non-static also. Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to use? Like you guys can. Okay, let me try with private. Okay. So you can keep 1 second. You can keep private as well, right? So any modifier that you want to use, if you guys have any doubt on modifiers, you can tell me. I will try to use this. So I can have a static. The static will behave normally, right? So there is no change how it was behaving with this what we call a normal class. It will behave as it is. Okay. Uh, non-static variable we also behave in similar fashion. The only thing is that if you cannot create an object, right? If you cannot create an object of shape, how we are going to use? The subclasses are going to use. Otherwise, you can have a public method which help you to use this instance variable and all. Okay. So whatever instance variable you can have. So okay, let me. So I have this pi. Okay, let me use this pi somewhere. I'm just simply using, I'm just simply trying to use this. You see, I'm able to use this one, right? Easily, direct, because it's static, I can directly use it, right? So there is no issue. How we are using it in the normal class, in similar fashion, after class also work. Okay. So what you guys understand if someone asks you why we use, what is the need of abstract class? So what you will answer? Any one of you, like simply like whatever you understand, you have to answer it. So if someone asks you why we need abstract class, we are having a normal class, what is the need of that? So what you will answer? Am I audible to you all?
Yeah, yes, you're audible.
So basically whatever you understand, like it's a pretty straightforward, nothing much is there. Okay.
Uh, if you want subclasses to implement anything rather than the parent class, something like that, because you cannot create a object for that class.
Okay. Correct. Okay. And if they will ask you, can you have instance variable in abstract class? So what you will say?
Sorry, if you have a
In abstract class, can we have, like this is abstract class shape, right? So can we have an instance variable in abstract class? You understand my question, right? Normal classes, we can have instance variable. Like I see I'm defining an instance variable. Are you able to see this?
But we cannot implement any method here, right?
but
Nothing
yeah, we
means.
can
No.
have instance
You can,
variable.
yeah, you can have instance variable. Can you have static variable in abstract class? Here I'm
Yes, we
just
can have
writing. You
static
have to say
variable.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can we have constructor? That is the main thing. Can we have constructor in abstract class? Bonita?
I don't think we can have
No,
because
I think no.
No,
yeah.
that's the wrong assumption. Okay. You can you can have. We'll see we can have or not.
Oh, okay.
We'll see we can have. Okay.
Yes, but you have done it the example before, right? That void method. It's the
Yes.
same way we can use the constructor also, right?
Just see the void method. Or which one you are saying? This intro, right? Okay.
Yes,
So
the
this,
same way.
yeah, so it can have, and we can use this to initialize. We can use this to initialize the object as any, let's assume if you are having any, what we call in shape, this is shape, right? Let me give you an example how you can use this one. So let us assume I have temp here, right? So temp, I tried by using this constructor, I can initialize this temp. Okay. So let us assume I am having a string, sorry, string x. Okay. And now I can have here, I know you guys will getting confused, but you will get a proper idea on that. Okay. So now you might be thinking where we can use this shape, right? So here, let me use super, and then I can pass anything to that. Let me pass Avina in temp. Okay. So like that you can use. You understand? So what I did,
So if you have constructor in the abstract class,
Hmm.
if it has any child class, we should call the super. That means we
Yes,
need to call
yes,
the
yes, yes,
constructor of the super
yes.
class, right? That means abstract class.
Yes, because what happened when you are not having a constructor, right? By default,
Okay.
there will be a constructor which will getting called. Okay, always
Yeah.
remember if a if children is there means parent definitely parents would be there, right? You remember the flow in inheritance we have learned, right? When we are
Yeah.
creating, so in similar fashion here also it will work. The only thing directly you cannot create object of that. Okay. But it doesn't
Okay.
mean that constructor is not getting invoked and all. We'll answer that question also. Once abstract is class is done and interface is done, we'll learn that part. Okay.
Okay. So in abstract class, we can have both like abstract methods and normal methods. And
Yes.
can we have private methods in abstract class?
Okay. So private method, if you have in abstract class, what it means, what purpose it will serve you? Tell me.
Yeah,
That
we
is
can
logical
we
thing.
can call any, like for example, if we have this intro method, right?
I will make
We
it.
may call that,
Hmm. See what is
but
happening.
here we cannot use that.
Hmm.
Yeah, if we have one more method with private, like we can
Y-
call from
Yeah,
inside the same method.
that doesn't make much sense. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
I will tell you why. So let us assume if you cannot create an instance and private method is basically bind to the specific instance, right? I make it private. So here, one second. See in this one, what it's saying. So make intro package private. Intro has private access in this. Okay, make it private. So now I have to remove this one, right? The reason is
Mm-hmm.
abstract method. See, private is basically belong to object.
Yes.
Out of the class you cannot access. So making it private is no use in abstract
Noise. Okay.
itself, right? Okay. Now the major question they will ask you in interview. Okay. Now only 2 minutes left. So what we'll do is whatever I will cover tomorrow again we'll have start from there. Okay. So constructor we can have a static method are also allowed. You can have static method also. So you can see here you can have static method. Sorry. Okay, a static method is also allowed. Okay. First thing. Now second thing is final method. So you remember abstract class can have final method and that cannot be overridden by subclasses. Like always, like even though in normal classes also you can have a final method and those final method cannot be subclassed by child classes. It's override by child classes. Sorry, I said subclass. Okay. Now when we learn about other thing like inner classes and all, we'll go other points like in abstract class, can we have inner classes and all? Okay. So always remember right now, abstract class can contain static or non-static inner class. Inner class we have not learned right now. This is the next topic after interface, but I just inform you. Okay. So tomorrow we'll do some more hands-on on abstract class or basic discussion. And again, then after that, we'll done with this. So almost time is over. I will upload this video. You guys have to go through that. Okay. Fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
भैया.
Okay.